How you doing? This is Mr. Dabner with Man Talk again. Another Man Talk coming at you live. Well, actually not live, but however, I'm coming at you this morning. I want to follow up on my last video. My last video was simply about teaching young men self-control. And when we're teaching young men self-control, we need to tell them the consequences of the lack of self-control. There's a lot of lack of self-control out here in the world today. Just look around, look on the news, look on television, anything. It seems like there's a bunch of wild animals, just running the streets. People have no direction, no teaching, no home training, no anything. They just out here to terrorize like little demons or something. However, but if you are, your kid is not into those types of things, but still you want them to grow up to be accountable, responsible, honorable young men, I want you to tune in. Come over here to Man Talk channel. Subscribe, like, share, and leave some comments in there. Let me know what's going on, how I can help you, or what you feel about this content that I'm putting out. I really appreciate that. All right, let's just get right into it today. The consequences of having lack of self-control. There's a lot of them, but I just picked out a few. First of all, when you lose self-control, you don't have self-control, you lose opportunities. People don't want to be around. They don't want to give opportunities to people who do not have self-control. You are like a ticking time bomb. You may go off at any time. You can't control your emotions. You can't control your actions. You can't control what you say. You are going to lose opportunities. And everybody's always crying about somebody. This person's holding them down. That person's holding them down. Teach our young men to have some type of self-control. I see it in the classroom all the time. They just can't control themselves. They just want to talk across the classroom. They just want to do what they want to do. I don't tolerate that foolishness. So I try to do my little piece in the classroom, trying to help young men to have some type of self-control, because you're definitely going to lose opportunities. People feel a certain way about you. They can't trust you. All right. Another thing that you're going to lose is jobs and career opportunities. You're going to lose jobs and careers because you can't control yourself on the job. The people that's in charge of you are going to fire you. They're going to get rid of you because no one wants to work in that type of environment. You can't control yourself and your temper. You can't control, how you do things, what you do to other people. You can't control yourself asking girls out on a date after they done told you no and no and no. That is self-control. Everything that we do, like I keep saying all the time, I tell the young men, only person you can control is you. They act like there's some type of phenomenon that's something making them do it. If something's making you do it, that must be a demon, okay? But however, I need you guys to begin to teach our young men some self-control. They're going to lose opportunities. They're going to lose jobs and careers. They're going to lose marriages. They're going to lose friends. They're going to lose relationships. They're going to lose, that relationship with their children and their family members, because you come around and you just can never control yourself. You're always arguing. You're always fighting. You're always stealing. You're always doing something. You're just in confrontation with everybody because you have lack of self-control. Self-control is a key to success. It is one of the keys to success. You can always react to everything someone says to you or do to you. Sometimes it really don't even matter. We just really need to teach our young men. You need to be under control. And it's really funny because a lot of the young men lose money opportunities because lack of self-control. You lose self-control. Nobody want to pay you. Nobody, like I said, all that ties in back to your career, your job, and even just when you are trying to make a side hustle or whatever the case may be. People just don't want to be around people that do not have self-control because it scares all of us. I'm talking about we all can handle ourselves and stuff, but we don't want to get caught up into that kind of thing when you're out of control, because we got to try to defend ourselves, protect ours, our families and things like that. And nobody really wants to do that when we could teach our young men at an early age to control themselves. And, everything that I'm talking about Every video I'm talking about, as far as from a parent's perspective, from a guardian or whoever, it is about doing what we need to do to raise better men. Men need to be men, okay? And we need to teach them you must control yourself. You must learn to think. If you can't think, it's really hard for you to control yourself, right? And so, therefore, everybody is responsible for the way men are today. It's just not the mothers, it's just not the fathers, it's everybody. We have just let these boys have a pass because we think they're cute. We think everything's so nice and everything's gravy that he's going to grow out of it. He's not going to grow out of it if you do not teach them. We need to teach them. We need to have, like Deion Sanders doing out there in Colorado, we need to have that prime effect, okay? He out there loving and changing them young men. He out there putting himself on the line, helping them young men. So these videos here is to help you. You got to spend some time with them. You got to teach them self-control. You must control yourself. Calm down. You don't have to say something because you're upset. You know, the Bible tells us to be angry, but sin not. That means keep your mouth closed. Don't do nothing. You know, you can be angry inside, but just keep your mouth closed. Don't do nothing. But as soon as you do something, that's when everybody see you out of control. And then you looking around at everybody else like they crazy. You feel justified, but however, you're not justified. They look at like, what's wrong with him? He trapping. Now, how do I know that? Because I used to be a young man with a hot temper, and I was out of control at some points in my life, even as a young adult. Because I thought that's the way you're supposed to do. You're supposed to react to people, intimidate people, yelling and screaming and cursing at them. That, it wasn't until I was saved by Jesus Christ and got a new spirit that I learned how to do all of these things. I learned how to just keep my mouth shut. Everything does not require me to respond. So therefore, that's a form of self-control. I learned to control when and where I spoke and how I spoke. See, that's all about self-control. See, that can be taught to a young man, but you must spend time with the young man to teach them these things, right? Because also, loss of self-control will cause you to lose your freedom. And we know that the prisons, whether it's justified and not justified, I'm not going into that. However, many of them deserve to be in there. Let's just be real, because they're out of control. They don't want to listen to nobody. Nobody ever taught them. So they're just like a wild animal growing up on their own. Nobody teaching them anything. They just looking and seeing what they see on the streets, and they just emulate it. That's why it's so important for this man talk. This is why I created this channel, Man Talk, so I could talk to people, young men, about self-control. Because I don't want to see our young men behind cages. I tell them in the classroom all the time. I said, why, when you go to the zoo, why do you think they have cages and glass? They said, because they're dangerous. I said, absolutely. Why you think they have bars and stuff with all these people they done locked up? Because they're dangerous. All right. So therefore, you'll lose your opportunities, you'll lose your money, you lose your relationship, your marriage, your children, you'll lose your freedom. And most importantly, if you run up on the wrong people and you have lost self-control, you just subject to lose your life. Your life is precious. It is priceless. You can't put a price on anybody's life, whether they do good, do a lot of good things, they don't do nothing, but still, a life is a life. It's not ours to take. However, but when our young men run across all these people and they're out of control because no one took the time to teach them self-control, then those are some of the results that we have. That's why it's so imperative. These are the consequences. I'm just following up on my first video about the self-control. This right here are the consequences of self-control. Ladies and gentlemen, listen here. I hope you subscribe, like, and share to my YouTube channel, Man Talk with Mr. D, because I'm always chopping it up about young men. I'm put out here the best stuff that I can, trying to help people along the way so our young men are not locked up and in the graveyard and losing opportunities, walking around just looking crazy. All right, until next time. Chopping it up with Mr. D, Man Talk with Mr. D. I will see you on the other side. Bye now.